Welcome back to another episode of the Hub on Hollywood podcast. I'm your co-host, James Rojas.
I'm the other co-host, Jamie Blanco.
On this week's episode, the new trailer of Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is loose, Marvel undergoing a rebranding, the Boston 48-Hour Film Festival is in the books, and one of the most famous homes in film history is up for sale, and it could be yours for just $5 million. Who can't afford that, right?
Yeah, just go grab that from under my mattress.
Exactly. But first, before we reach below that mattress, happy Memorial Day weekend, Jamie.
Woohoo! And to you as well. It's a beautiful weekend here in New England. People are hitting the beaches. It's nice and warm.
Yeah. What's your go-to Memorial Day meal? If you're gonna do anything with family or friends, what are you looking forward to?
I really love doing a cookout in the backyard, and I make these mean shrimp skewers with this garlic basting on them. That's so good. I think I've had you and Allie over one year where we grilled out in the back and played games. So but one thing you might want to watch out for, James, if you are heading out, I imagine you might be hitting a beach or a water location of that kind. Jaws is out there.
He's back, baby.
He's
Jaws
back,
2024.
He is a great white shark has been spotted in the Jaws area where they filmed the movie off of Martha's Vineyard, Falmouth, Oaks Bluff, Martha's Vineyard, that area. So just a heads up for anyone heading down there in those beautiful locales that Jaws will get you, apparently.
If you want to see photos, we actually the local New England aquarium, they had some scientists out and also some fishermen. They took some pictures, but these are I want to say they're extremely graphic, but there was one picture of a deceased whale floating in the water, and there's a big circular chunk taken out of its belly. And there's another photo of a seal. This one is living, but it had Jaws kind of had its own little barbecue kind of
took a nibble
off this seal. But if you want to check out my Twitter at James Rojas MMJ, you can check out those photos just to get you in the Memorial Day eating mood if you need that incentive.
I wouldn't say it's graphic. I would say it's cinematic.
There we go.
Do you have plans? Sure. Plans to enjoy the Memorial Day weekend? Perhaps movies, perhaps grilling, I don't know.
No, so my wife and I, we decided because the weather is surprisingly good. We are very thankful for that, so we're trying to get out as much as possible. We went out to we took our daughter out for a walk at a local reservation, so kind of exposing her to the woods and nature. So that was very fun, and so we got some ice cream. We got a little, what's it called? Ice? What's it called? An icy thing, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, getting out there, enjoying nature. So it's a good weekend for that.
All right.
But it's also a good weekend for catching up on some great Americana movies, since we are talking about Memorial Day weekend. And I pulled up a list. I guess Reddit was talking about what are the essential Americana movies out there? The movies that make you swell with pride for being an American.
Yeah.
Or get that American vibe. And so we can, I know you have your pick and I also have a pick, but for your go-to Americana film to get you in the Americana mood, what do you go with?
It's got to be Sandlot.
Yeah.
It's got to be What is more American than baseball, than, playing with your neighbors and having that coming of age experience. I love everything about the Sandlot. Benny the Jet Rodriguez, and the whole trying to get back Babe Ruth's ball. It's just
what was the dog's name? The Beast.
I think
it was no, but that was a movie that my sister and I, we wore out the VHS tape growing up. So that's one thing that you had to watch that.
Yeah, we were a big baseball family growing up. So, I mean, this is a timeless classic that makes you proud to be an American, right, James? Because especially for Benny, he grows up and, we're Hispanic kids. He grows up and he becomes a Major League Baseball player.
For Los Dodgers.
Los Dodgers. Los Dodgers. That's awesome. I have a second place though, just in case I was feeling a little more saucy, a little bit more America. I'd have to go with Team America World Police if I was just in that kind of a mood.
That's a definite
America.
mood. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
No, that's a good one.
What about you? What about you, James?
I like that one. My pick for a great Americana film is Forrest Gump. Forrest, he transcends time and space, and he does like everything that an American would want to do. He plays football. He joins the military. I'm not sure if every American wants to do that, but it's a very American thing to do, to join the military. And then he competes. He wins a competition against China. Let's see. He raises a family of sorts. He becomes a billionaire. He becomes what's the phrase? He has more money than I have more money than David. Not David Crockett. What's his name? Forrest Gump. Quote: more money. Don't worry, we got this.
And while you're looking,
it is.
More money than David Crockett.
More money than David Crockett. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, and and it's not just the beautiful parts of America; it's the growing pains as well. And he leads us through those painful moments, and shows us that just that kindness and that innocence and that purity, is what we needed all along. It's like
it goes through the civil rights movement, the hippie movement. That's my Americana.
Yeah, that's super Americana.
I also saw somebody recommend Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's fun.
Oh,
that's
another
good kind of like coming of age kind of a story.
And is there a movie that has a better ending? Is there a movie that makes you smile harder at the end than Ferris Bueller and the parade and everything? That's a great pick as well. What else is on this list you mentioned?
We have someone wrote Little Miss Sunshine. That's a fun one. Let's see. Dazed and Confused. I don't think I've seen that movie. I know of it and quotes from it, but I've never seen it. Let's see. Someone puts let's see. Citizen Kane. Yeah, this is getting kind of very specific. I don't know. I want something kind of like loosey-goosey. Someone puts Office Space. That seems like, this is a good one. A League of Their Own, another one starring Tom Hanks.
Yes,
so
definitely.
That's pretty Americana. And another Tom Hanks Americana kind of feel is also Apollo 13.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, we love Tom Hanks.
Tom
Hanks, the king of Americana, just the king of America, basically. That's what we need to do.
If you don't love Tom Hanks, then, see your way out this door that we call America.
Right. Okay. We'll just kick you right off the top of the Statue of Liberty, basically.
Exactly.
If you don't like Tom Hanks.
Nothing more American than that.
That's what you deserve. Okay.
Excellent. All right.
Also American, James. What's more American than apple pie and making movies?
Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is more American than both of those things.
Exactly. But the Boston 48-Hour Film Festival just wrapping up.
Yeah.
Teams of American filmmakers. I'm trying to make this transition work. Coming together, local filmmakers here in New England, rallying together and creating films in 48 hours. These people put their teams together. They get a theme, a line of dialogue, an item that needs to be in their film. They get a list of requirements for what these films need to be. And in 48 hours, they write a script, they record it, they edit it, and they submit it. And so now we've got the winners, the audience awards for the 4 groups of films that were presented. So the winner of Group A is a film called Popped by 112 Studios. The winner of Group B is Anti-Gravitas by Blatant Product Placement Productions. Great name.
I like it.
The winner of Group C is The Swim by Lyracy. And the winner of Group D is Blind Spot by Space Couch. If you want to see these great local films that were put together, you can. You have the chance to go to 2024boston48.com. There's going to be a Best of Awards show on June 10th that is going to be screening at the Crystal Ballroom in Davis Square in Somerville. Come out and support your local talent, your local filmmakers here in New England.
All right, congratulations to everybody who participated, whether you won or you just you got your film in there. It's no easy feat to turn a movie around in 48 hours. So great job.
Woohoo!
Now, one movie that will not take 48 hours to make, it will take much longer, the third installment of the Knives Out, what is now going to be the trilogy. Jamie, you and I, of course, are fans of Knives Out. I think we have different opinions regarding the sequel, Glass Onion, but overall, very, very good movies, of course, written and directed by Rian Johnson, who has also divided us. If there's one person who can divide you and me, Jamie, it's Rian Johnson. I don't know what it is about him, but he's very divisive.
I'm Team Ryan. I'm Team Ryan all the way. But yes,
well, let me ask you if this is another divisive thing. We have the new name for the new Knives Out film, and it is called "Wake Up, Dead Man: A Knives Out Mystery." Your thoughts on that title?
I love it.
Of course, you would love it.
I love it. Okay, so. Rian Johnson, a huge fan of the noir, a huge fan of Agatha Christie, bringing the classic whodunit back to film, making it relevant again, and not only, and taking something that is new, creating something that is a new, fresh IP, an idea from his brain and from his heart, and making it into something that we can love and we can all get behind. He signed a huge deal with Netflix, which is going to be producing this new trilogy, right? Well, we're way into the trilogy by now. And it led to Ryan creating his own production company called T something, was it? T Reels or T Productions or T Taylor Swift? No. Gosh, I'm a bad Rian Johnson fan because I forgot it now. But still, so Wake Up, Dead Man. I like it. I think it's catchy. I think it's interesting. I think it's mysterious. Who are we waking up? Why are we telling him to wake up, right? Dead people stay dead, or do they, James? Right. So, I mean, I'm in it. I'm already in it to win it. We were both huge fans of the first Knives Out. Famously filmed here. I don't know how famously people know that it was filmed here in New England.
And it stars none other than the Jamie Blanco.
That's right. That's my claim to fame, James. I'm not shy to share that with the world, but I was Anna de Armas's body double in the very first Knives Out, filmed here in New England. All the shots of her hands and feet and her driving, all those close-ups, her walking through the woods and putting a magnet in her pocket or putting the VHS tape into the VCR, her looking at her muddy shoe prints in the mud, all me. That was all Jamie Blanco from the Hub on Hollywood on the big screen in the first Knives Out film. We were a little disappointed that Glass Onion wasn't filmed here. It was filmed in a beautiful isle in Greece. And now the question is, where are they filming number 3? Where are they going to be filming Wake Up, Dead Man? As so far as we know, we don't know yet, except that Rian Johnson has said to Business Insider that he wants to be in America. He wants these to be, first and foremost, American films. There we go. We're continuing with our Memorial Day weekend,
all right,
America, and, patriotic kind of theme here on the Hub on Hollywood, that he wants these to be American films set in America. For this one in particular, is going to be set in the United States. But where it is filming, we do not know yet. And sadly, there's no indication that filming is going to be getting underway in this region imminently.
What I am excited for?
What are you excited for?
I'm excited for the Daniel Craig. He is returning as Detective Benoit Blanc. No matter, again, I had mixed feelings on Glass Onion, specifically on its ending, but throughout the entire thing, Daniel Craig is fantastic as this character. So I am so happy that he has come back. And if this is successful, do you imagine a 4 and a 5 sequel?
I don't know. I mean, Daniel Craig has said, and him and Rian Johnson have both said, they want to continue making these movies for as long as people want to watch them and for as long as they are having fun making them. And as long as there's that passion there for it, if it starts becoming like oh God, we need to keep churning these out, they'll probably hang it up. They'll probably call it quits. But at this point, people are still loving the films, they're still watching them, and apparently they're still having fun making them. There have been rumors on Reddit that filming is getting underway partially in London this fall, but that is just purely conjecture and rumor at this point. There have been films that have filmed, partially in London and partially here in the United States. Beetlejuice being one of them, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, so long as people keep watching it and they are having fun making it, they will keep making Knives Out. I mean, do you want to see more of them, James, or are you with it here? Or are you starting to get a little bit nervous or on the fence?
No, I'm down. I mean, if Rian Johnson, Again, it's hard to compare Glass Onion to the first film because the first one is so great. But if he's able to make a movie that's just as good as Glass Onion, I would be satisfied. But, always strive for better. So if he sticks this landing and Daniel Craig is up for it, then why not? Because who doesn't love a good murder mystery that gets turned upside down?
At this point, I just wanted to add, James, there's a 2-sequel deal with Netflix, right, for these 2 sequels, the Knives Out 2 and 3. So if they wanted to keep going, it would be up for bids. They'd just have to get a new backer. But they signed a $450 million deal with Netflix. So it seems like they're doing pretty well for themselves. We'll see what happens. We're here for it. I'm here for the mystery. We'll figure it out.
Well, you know what else is now longer a mystery and no longer needing to be seen is everything in the MCU, apparently. That's because Marvel is rebranding its TV shows to take away the pressure of watching absolutely everything. And that was one of the big problems with, like, say, after Endgame, you had the spin-offs of Scarlet Witch, or what was the show called? It was called...
the one with Scarlet Witch.
What was it called?
The one with
that's how impactful these shows. Yeah, that's how impactful these shows are. What was it called? It was called it's something with a W, right? WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like WandaVision, like all these other shows that popped up, like Loki and stuff. Like it was said that you're gonna have to watch these shows in order to watch, the new Multiverse
movies.
of Madness movie, or the new Thor movie, or the new Spider-Man movie. So these are all interconnected, and I think that this created a 2-tier problem. One, it had people feeling pressured in order to enjoy the movies in the future that they'll have to watch these shows. So either subscribe to Disney Plus or not, and then go into a movie blind and missing out on key details. And then also the other thing that hurt was that a lot of these projects, or, I want to say all, but, a good number of these projects that came out, they weren't that good or maybe that well received. And so you had people like, I have to finish, this show, even though I don't like it, in order to understand the next movie that's coming out. And so I think that really put a bad taste in people's mouths. And because of that, I think a lot of people have been turned off by Marvel and the MCU, myself included. And so we're getting this new report showing that Kevin Feige they are going with this kind of rebrand, and so people won't have to feel obligated to watch absolutely everything in order to watch anything else. You know, they can watch their own show that appeals to them. So whether that's like a comedy series or something that's more dramatic, or something that's animated versus live action, they seem to be going in the direction of like, hey, these are their own little projects. They may connect, but you know, the main storyline won't carry through, or something very impactful won't happen on the show that you're gonna miss out on if they make it into a movie. So I think this is a smart move. Finally.
Yeah, I can see that, absolutely. So, for example, if you haven't watched the Loki series, you don't know what's going on with the multiverse, and you don't know what's going on with the new villain, you know, the new big bad, who's actually not going to be the new big bad now because of what happened with the actor. But still, I think that that's a really smart move, having a separation there, having a cinematic universe that makes sense. If you go to the theater and you watch all the movies, then you understand. But there's too much homework. You can't give people homework.
No.
You can't expect that they're going to go and watch every series and know what's going on with every side character that they may or may not care about. And that's going to turn people, that's going to make a lot of frowns. Frowny face.
Absolutely.
I'm speaking, I've been watching a lot of Emoji Movie with my my son.
Oh, goodness.
So,
that sounds like torture.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Well, one reason why we don't have to frown is over kind of new direction that Marvel MCU is going with, and that includes the reintroduction of X-Men 97, the animated series.
Woo.
And the series just ended because they were releasing this episode like week by week, which I think is a good idea to do instead of, you know, releasing everything all at once. But the series kind of just wrapped up the first season of X-Men 97. You and I are probably 6 or so episodes in, but I agree with all the other reviews that are coming out from this show saying this is really, really good, just Marvel contents or Marvel shows or Marvel projects. Like, this is what great storytelling is. This is what great acting is, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it right now. Did you watch X-Men when it first ran back in the 90s on TV?
Oh, I must have. I don't have like super strong memories of it, but of course the theme song is stuck in my subconscious, as with many other people. So I must have. Yes.
It was funny because one of my earliest memories was like going to my friend's house, like next door neighbor, and he had like the 8-inch, like the 8 to 10-inch tall, like we don't call them dolls, we call them action figures, but they had like the Wolverine and Sabretooth and Cyclops, and so just watching the show and then afterwards going to his house and then playing with those toys, recreating those scenes with these awesome action figures it's like a core childhood memory of mine, and so. Really big fan of the series and really happy that they brought this back. And I love the fact that apparently for the show to have been created to get the green light, Kevin Feige had 2 conditions for the show. One, the original X-Men voice actors had to return, and the rights for the theme song had to be obtained. And so you have 2 great decisions right off the bat, and then you have them coming back with a continued story, and it's really, really good. I would say that the animation style is not exactly the same as it was in the original run. However, it's good. It's not bad at all, and it kind of leans a little more into the anime kind of aesthetic to it when it comes to some of like the blasts or the explosions or like some of the quick scenes. So that's cool. But after getting over like the slight animation style change, I was easily able to hop on board with this, and it's so good so far, at least for me.
Yes, I'm really enjoying. I like that you mentioned that there's a little bit of that anime style in it, and I think that's what's drawing me in now because I'm a big fan of anime, and some of these scenes that you're talking about are just really beautiful to look at. They're really, really beautiful, and the stories are just as compelling as the original, but they're still okay for kids to watch to an extent. I mean, you've parental guidance suggested, right? There's some adult themes there, but not to the extent that your kids can't watch it. And it's they're good stories. They're true to the comics, and you get to see some of the history for some of the characters that are in the movies today. One of them in particular, Cable, who is I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but spoiler alert, skip forward a couple seconds, but who's the son of Jean Grey? No.
Yeah, Jean Grey and Cyclops.
Cyclops and Jean Grey, or you saw that one, right?
Yeah.
And Jean Grey's clone, actually, and they send him to the future and all this stuff. So it's just so pure. It's so pure to the comics, and that makes it really, really enjoyable. Plus everything that you mentioned before: theme song, voice actors, animation style. So yes, I think we're about the same level into the show right now, and I'm really, really enjoying it as well. And you said what's happening now with the seasons?
One thing I love is that the episodes are coming out week by week instead of coming, all in one batch. And so it creates that, and it elongates the discussion. And so fans are able to catch up with the series so they don't feel like they're missing out. And then the benefit of having a week by week schedule is that, the momentum, the hype, the buzz continues, as opposed to one big peak, one big spike of excitement, and then it drops down. And you have to wait until a whole another year for a discussion or for the next season to appear. So I do like the week by week model.
Great. And since we're just talking about that for a sec, I'm just going to mention this and get your opinion. I agree with you on the week by week model, but Bridgerton just came out, the latest season of Bridgerton, and they split their season in half. So half the episodes came out a couple of weeks ago. The rest of the season is coming out in a couple of weeks, in mid-June. And then in the middle, it's dead. People don't have the patience. They're not going to space it out themselves. They're going to watch everything all at once, right off the bat. And then we're just going to be yearning and angry for a few weeks until the next part of the season comes out. I almost wish that they would have done one episode a week, in order to keep that momentum, keep that excitement going, give you something in the middle, except, and not leave you hanging and angry and angsty in the middle. Like, I'm not happy. So, I mean, I know that especially the streamers are trying to come up with ways to, like you mentioned, maintain that momentum and that excitement and stuff like that. So would you say, what would be your preference? All at once, week to week, or splitting the season like that?
I would go. I think it depends on the show, honestly, because say for The Last of Us, that came out starring Pedro Pascal, that came out on a week by week basis, and so I think that was really fun to again enjoy the fan base and the discussion week by week, new developments and new videos and what have you. So that was really fun. I just finished the show Fallout that's on Amazon Prime. That was all released at the same time, and that one I binged because it's also a great show. So I think maybe it depends on the show. It also depends on the mood, and it also depends, I think, on how tied to the community discussion you are. For example, for Fallout, I don't really go on a lot of Fallout forums, and so I wasn't really joining in on the discussion. I was hearing general reviews that it was a good show, but I didn't really go into like deep dives on Reddit or what have you. But for The Last of Us, that was something that I actually was interested in going, episode by episode, detail by detail, like learning and reading more about. And so I think it just depends on the type of show, what type of mood you're in. So I don't think there's one perfect style. I am not a fan of like the split season, but I don't think there's a perfect like model. I think it just depends, on the individual person. Well, and so
what do you guys think?
Yeah.
What do you guys listening think? Do you want it all at once? Do you want it week to week? Or the shitty Bridgerton way? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I may or may not have strong feelings about that. So let us know in the comments down below, and we'll give you a shout out here on the Hub on Hollywood.
Well, one thing that many people are talking about right now, and a lot of thoughts and comments are erupting online, is the reaction to Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, the official trailer. I know that, where was it? A CinemaCon or some convention recently, maybe several weeks ago, this trailer dropped, and a lot of buzz and hype was coming out from that. Well, now the official first trailer for the sequel to Beetlejuice has dropped, and I think it looks really good. I think it does look really good, and I know that, Tim Burton was talking about using a lot of practical effects, a lot of stop motion effects as they used in the first film, and I think it's looking pretty good. So my hype meter is inching upward, but a lot of people are also talking about and breaking down the trailer, talking about some of the Easter eggs and details and theories after watching this. One fact that we are already aware of is that this is kind of the reason why this family is reuniting is because the father figure from the first movie, Charles Dietz, has passed away, and they have this funeral at the home where Winona Ryder, where the first movie takes place. So that's why everybody's coming back. Jenna Ortega is the daughter of Lydia. And then, of course, we have Catherine O'Hara, the mom, reprising her role as well. Your initial thoughts on this first trailer, Jamie?
I think it looks creepy. It looks creepy. It looks good. It seems like it's got the right mood. But it's HD, James. I think of the griminess of, the lower definition film, of the original Beetlejuice kind of added to it. I don't know how Beetlejuice looks in HD. I don't know if he looks grimy enough, if he looks gritty enough. I don't want to see him in high definition. That's just a thought, one of the thoughts I had. But I think the story itself looks good. It seems like Jenna Ortega, who's Lydia Dietz's daughter, appears to be the one who summons, right, Beetlejuice. So we'll see. The juice is on the loose, and
the juice is loose.
Clear. The juice is loose. Sorry, the juice is loose. And it's clear that they're probably going for a trilogy here, right? They're going to do the Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Right.
So we can probably expect a cliffhanger. Is Beetlejuice going to be out and about in town? Is he going to be walking through the streets, or is this all going to be taking place in the house? It still
this is my
remains
theory.
to be seen. What's your theory?
So I think the trailer makes it look like Jenna Ortega is the one that releases Beetlejuice by having that cut saying Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. But some theories I've heard, and I think I agree with it, is that I think because of the scene where Beetlejuice comes out of the infamous small town and he rises up, the only person in that room in that moment appears to be Lydia. So what I think what happens is that I think Jenna Ortega is probably going to find like that Book of the Dead. She's going to somehow like open up a portal and go into the afterlife, the afterworld. And then Lydia will bring out Beetlejuice to help her and her mom go into and navigate the underworld and try to find her, try to rescue her. But again, I think Beetlejuice will have alternative motives, ulterior motives near the end of it, and because there appears to be like another wedding scene, so I think Beetlejuice is going to try to either marry Lydia or marry Jenna Ortega, and then there's going to be like some kind of battle of sorts to get rid of Beetlejuice, and then that'll lead to part 3.
Okay. Well, Michael Keaton has had really amazing things to say about Jenna Ortega in this film, which is really heartening. He says of the film itself, it's really effing good. In fact, it's great. And about Ortega, he says she's just got it. She's like, I know what the tone is, and that she was just perfect in this movie. He says he gets a kick out of the notion of the plot. So I think you're right. I think in the trailer there's always misdirection, right? So I'm kind of digging your theory there. But we'll see. And it's so. Anyways, never mind. I may or may not know a thing or two, but it's definitely not something I can talk about until this movie comes out. So
you'll tell me. You tell me off of mic so we could piss off
Yeah.
our listeners.
So if people would like to know what I know, you probably are going to have to stick around and watch The Hub on Hollywood. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on all the social media sites. We're on Facebook, Instagram, the TikTok, and on YouTube. So like us, share us. Subscribe, follow, so we can continue bringing this content to you. We've had excellent interviews the last few weeks with great local talent, creators, actors, directors, and we will continue to showcase those people and the films that were made here in New England, including Beetlejuice, the original sets, James, which is really exciting for me in terms of watching Beetlejuice. The original sets in East Corinth, Vermont, were rebuilt on the same sites, same locations as the original. So you get that added value as well. So I'm really excited to see how this all turns out.
And speaking of those returning sets, we do know that they also rebuilt the house from the original Beetlejuice for the sequel, and that got us talking and looking into other famous homes in film and TV history, because the house featured in Home Alone is up for sale in Illinois for just over $5.2 million. I think we can both pool our resources together, Jamie, and buy this. What do you think?
Let me get my pocketbook. I'll talk to Ron. He's probably, he's probably got something saved.
5 bedrooms, 6 bathroom house. If you have a big family, you want plenty of bathrooms, and so that seems like an appropriate amount of bathrooms. Apparently this was last purchased in 2012 for just over $1.5 million, so about a decade later it now costs over $5 million. I know some people say that's way too much, but you have to take into consideration that not only was it the outside used for Home Alone, but it was also, I guess, taken care of. A lot of work was also done to make sure the architectural integrity of the house was still intact and recognizable as the place where the movie took place. But that got me thinking, if we could pick, if we could afford one of our dream Hollywood movie houses, which one would it be, and where would we go? And so I have 2 on my list of famous houses where I would not mind setting a stake in. And the first one would be from the movie Honeymoon in Vegas. There is a property in Hawaii that's right on the beach, right on the shore, and it is beautiful with sprawling windows that you can see as far as the eye can see. There are windows and walls that retract as a beautiful kind of like 70s aesthetic vibe to it. Green, lush grass and plants all over the place. My wife and I, when we went to Hawaii for our honeymoon, we actually did like the movie drive tour, and we drove by this house, this location, and it's phenomenal. It's beautiful. I would gladly live the rest of my life in that house from Honeymoon in Vegas. So that's my number 1 pick.
Very nice, very nice. I would say, well, 100% hands down, James, I would live in a hobbit hole. Okay? Lord of the Rings, take me to Hobbiton, give me a beautiful little home under the ground with a big round hobbit door, everything made out of wood, and little gardens all around, and little windows, and just, lots of books, lots of bookshelves, and, great big kitchen where we can have breakfast and second breakfast, and and just eat and read and enjoy enjoy nature all day long. Give me that every day, all day. That's what I gotta have. Honestly.
Cool. No, that's a good pick. Sounds very peaceful. I think.
Yes, but also, James, so many people would love to live in that Beetlejuice house. in that, especially after the Dietz moved in and gave it that a very modern renovation. But I think that many people might be surprised to know that the house doesn't actually exist. It's not a real house, people. It is a movie house. So they came in to film this.
I think we could play with the rules. I think if it takes place in the movie, we can say that we would live there. If in our fantasy scenario, it would just exist.
I guess.
I think that's fair.
They rebuilt it for the movie, and it was mostly a facade. There was like maybe one functional room on the inside, and it's on somebody's property, right? Somebody owns that land and that property. So for a pretty penny, maybe we pitch in, come up with some kind of deal with the landowner, in which we build this house back up, make it into an Airbnb. They get a lot of the profits, and it becomes like a tourist destination. But if it's somewhere that you'd want to live, like, yes, if you want to fantasize, say, yeah, if I could, in reality, live there. The location itself, gorgeous, so beautiful. On a hill, in the mountains, there's a little river. It's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful East Corinth, Vermont. I will just say, James, there is no internet connectivity there. None. Okay. Not even cell phone service. Everybody there has landlines. So just be prepared for that if that's the location of your dream movie house.
Okay, well, my second pick and last pick for this definitely exists, and it's where I used to call home back in Southern California, sunny California. Ooh. And have you seen? Did you watch the show The O.C.?
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Well, no, you missed out on a great show with great scenery because the house where our main protagonist, Ryan, he leaves the hard streets of Chino, where I grew up, which are not hard streets at all. He leaves the hard streets of Chino to go live in Orange County in the OC. So if you look up the OC house, and even like the pool house, but just the OC house, it's beautiful, has an amazing infinity pool right over a hill, looking over the ocean, looking over hills. It's a good place to be. So that would be my second place to live if I could afford it.
Woohoo! And I'd like to round out my list, James, with the house from Father of the Bride. I don't know if you've seen Father of the Bride.
Yeah,
there are two movies. So in the sequel, they expand the house because his wife is having another baby. That house is so beautiful. It is so pretty. It is so well decorated. It is just gorgeous and homey, and I want it. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So the house from Father of the Bride is my final pick.
Okay, cool. Well, let us know what your dream house, your dream movie house is, and if you could afford it, where would you go? Yeah, so that's really fun. That Home Alone, $5.2 million. That would make me want to scream how Kevin McCallister screamed when he put aftershave on his face. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jamie, as we do with every episode, we will end this one with another round of Cinequotes.
Woo! All right.
I will warn you, Jamie, this is the Sunday Stumpa, so we could play today's game, or we could play yesterday's game, which is not as hard. How do you feel?
I'm a chicken. Let's go with yesterday's game.
Okay, we will play yesterday's game. So, for those, again, who are not familiar, Cinequote is a game where daily a movie is selected, and you, the guesser, must find out what movie it is based off of 5 quotes that are given. If you guess it on the first quote, then yay, you're a superstar. If you guess it on the 5th one, you barely made it by. If you don't guess at all, you will get a womp womp sound and feel the agony of defeat, as Jamie and I have done a couple times. But I think for the most part, we're doing well. I think we're on a 30-game winning streak so far. So
yeah,
we'll take it.
All right.
Okay, Jamie, so if you're ready, we can get ready for quote number 1 in 3, 2, 1.
Taxi! I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, I think this is airplane. I'm going to guess airplane. Final answer, 1980. In 3, 2, 1. Cha-ching!
Oh, wow. That was quick.
So
Nice
good.
job. Nicely done.
I love airplane.
Yes, you can watch that over and over.
Yeah. So good.
And that's where the NEM, it's a twister, comes from.
Is that from airplane?
Yeah, when the guy in the control tower is like messing with all the wires and he's spinning around and he's like, NEM. And then he's got the, it's like, what do you make of this? It's like, well, I can make a brooch and I can make a hair thing and I can make a pterodactyl.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I thought you were actually quoting Wizard of Oz, but I guess, is he re-quoting Wizard of Oz, or is that just...
Last episode, I was quoting Airplane making fun of the Wizard of Oz.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Full circle. All right. That's a great way to end the episode. Again, as always, thank you so much for tuning in to the Hub on Hollywood podcast. You can follow us on all the social media platforms at Hub on Hollywood. Be sure to join the conversation, comment down below, like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing is a big help. Also leaving reviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts, including iHeartRadio. But Jamie,
all right.
Happy Memorial Day weekend to you. Happy Memorial Day weekend and holiday to everybody. For those who served, for those who made the ultimate sacrifice, we thank you. Until next week, Jamie, I am James.
And I am Jamie. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.